Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the singers, the singers only. The singers only. Hey, you guys, it's Kristal Cherelle from Indie Artist School. Welcome to the Singer's Arsenal. I'm going to start today off by asking you a question. Are you ready? Are you ready to discover your superpower? Now, I'm not talking about reading minds or being able to fly, although that would be amazing. But what I'm talking about is, are you ready to discover your vocal superpower? Now, you may not know this, but every voice has its own hidden gifts, its own special strengths, its own special touch that allows you to be able to do things a little bit more easily. Now, everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses, but we're focusing on the strengths today. Now, one of the most cool ways to discover your vocal superpower is by understanding your hidden strengths have been with you your entire life. I want you to go back in your mind and close your eyes even if you can. I want you to remember as a kid, is there something that you used to get in trouble for regarding your voice? Anybody ever told you, shh, be quiet, you're too loud, or you laugh so loud, whatever it is? If that's what it is, then your superpower could be that you have a powerful voice, that you have a strong diaphragm. So your true superpower would be belting and sustaining notes. Look at that. What? Yes. You might have thought it was something that was wrong with you, that you needed to get quiet and you were too loud and it didn't fit in every social space, like libraries, for example. Now here's a way for you to see how that's something that's actually very good for your voice. Here's something else. Maybe you were always told, why don't you speak up? I can't hear you. You're too quiet. Why don't you ever say anything? Or why is it that you speak so softly? If anybody ever nicknamed you a mouse. Well, your soft-spoken voice is actually a superpower. One of the superpowers of a soft-spoken voice is the agility. That's right. You're able to move between notes a lot faster than normal. You may notice that you do tend to pick up runs. It's just something that comes a little naturally to you. Well, that's because your agile voice is your superpower. Now, you might not have the power behind it as far as belting, and just as the belter might not be able to sing runs as cleanly on first notice, these are your natural talents. These are your natural gifts. This is your natural vocal superpower. And of course, through skill and training, you can hone those natural gifts and develop the things you're not good at. Are you loud or are you soft-spoken? And if you're somewhere in between, your gift could be a hybrid of the two. So there's a place for every voice. Okay, so the second thing is being able to identify your vocal range. All right, so let's talk about this. The vocal range is also known as tessitura. And the tessitura is basically saying where you feel your voice is more natural, pitch-wise. So you feel comfortable here, and it's also where you sound the best. But before I get deeply into that, I want to invite you to donate to this podcast and show your support by going to anchor.fm/thesingersarsenal/support. I really enjoy creating content for you guys, and I enjoy giving you guys vocal tips so that I can help you develop your voice. And you can help by going to anchor.fm/thesingersarsenal/support. And to those of you who are already supporting, thank you so much. All right, so let's get into tessitura, also known as your vocal range. So depending on your vocal range, you have your own extra layer of a superpower. And that superpower is the vocal register that you're strong in. And so I'm going to peel back the layers a little bit here and help you understand what vocal registers are. Every voice has 3 vocal registers: the chest voice, your mixed voice, and your head voice. But depending on your vocal type, your vocal range, or your tessitura, you'll find that one of these registers are a little bit easier for you to sing in and you're really good at. So let's let's break that down. So if you have a lower range, whether you're a woman, you would be an alto. And if you're a man and a low voice, you'd be a bass. But your superpower is your chest voice. It's that speaking voice. It's the lower parts of your range. They're very powerful. They're very rich and strong, just naturally, without any training. You just got that in your arsenal right there. Okay. Now, if you have a strong mixed register, that means you have a good mid-range, then you would be classified as a mezzo-soprano or a baritone. And if you're a male. So the thing about that is that, that's where you find those high belters, the strong mixed belters, or someone who sings runs in their mixed registers smoothly. And I got something to say here. Mixed register is usually a challenge for a lot of voice types, just because that's usually where your voice will crack. But for some reason, once you master it, if you're a mezzo-soprano and a baritone, for some reason, those notes just come a little bit clearer and easily for you because of your tessitura, because you found that your voice type really flourishes in the mixed register. All right. And if your voice is higher, if you just naturally talk a bit higher, then you'll find that the head voice is your superpower. That's where you'll find people who might even get into their whistle register even. This is sopranos. And you'll also have, as if you're a male, it would be a tenor. Now, that being said, these registers are available to everyone, but I'm just talking about what your natural gift would be. So your natural superpower, your natural strengths, you gravitate here. You feel comfortable here. Your tessitura really shines here. Let's go back over that. Altos and basses, their vocal strengths are their chest voice. The mixed register as the superpower goes to mezzo-sopranos and baritones. And last but not least, if you are a tenor as a guy, or if you're a soprano as a woman, then your superpower is your head voice. Now, here's something that's very interesting. This has to do with how you speak. So if you happen to speak very animated, meaning that you speak high and you speak low when you talk and you're just very animated, well, your superpower could actually be a wide vocal range. So that's something that's very interesting to think about. Why is that, you might wonder? Well, it's because you're actually exploring a wider range of pitches even as you speak. So all of those registers feel pretty comfortable for you as a vocalist. That's a really cool superpower to have. So the next one, your timbre itself could be one of your superpowers. And I say this because every timbre has some things that just come more naturally to them. So if you have a heavier, darker timbre, then something like growling would come a little bit easier for you, meaning, having a little bit of grit to your voice will come easier to you because your voice is already heavy. And if you have a natural raspiness to your voice, which is actually a timbre itself, I'm not talking about vocal damage, like you got hoarse or something. I'm talking about a natural rasp that comes without you even trying, meaning you still have it when you're speaking. Your voice is going to automatically be unique, and that's something that's one of your superpowers. If you look at it, every voice has its own superpower. Now, I want you to understand, just because your voice has a tendency to do something doesn't mean that's all it's ever going to do. So if you want to sing more clean vocal runs and you want to do more with your voice, have more agility, and I just sat here and told you, if you have a loud voice, then chances are belting and sustaining notes is your superpower. Don't take that to mean that that's all you should ever do. It's something that you can do to help yourself develop each one of your gifts. Know that you have multiple gifts. You have multiple things that your voice is capable of doing. Finding what that is, you have to have a spirit of discovery. You have to want to peel the layers. Having a vocal coach can really help you not only discover them safely, but help you identify things that maybe you didn't even notice in yourself. When you're just starting out as a vocalist, you might be a little insecure about the differences in your voice. You got to know what you've got going on. And I'm here to tell you, most people really don't know. They don't have a clue. They don't know what their voice is capable of doing. And they might even criticize the very thing that is their strength. And a lot of that has to do with maybe how you grew up, or maybe friends or environment, or looking to what you hear on the radio. Sometimes, people hear certain voices more often than others. And so you think if your voice is not like that, that your voice is, not good enough, or that there's something wrong with it. But really, you have a superpower that you probably haven't even discovered yet. And so if you want to discover your superpower and develop your own voice, go to indie-artist.teachable.com. That's indie-artist.teachable.com. Well, you guys, until next time, have a wonderful day.
It's the singers.